Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to cut right through the overwhelming noise of the nutrition world and look at the actual science of how we eat. If you've ever felt completely lost in that endless sea of conflicting dietary advice, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're stripping away the marketing, ditching the buzzwords, and focusing purely on the biological mechanisms that actually drive our health. Okay, let's take a quick look at today's roadmap. We've got 5 parts. 1. The Great Diet Illusion. 2. Nutrients, the building blocks. 3. The anti-nutrient debate. 4. Superfoods backed by science. And finally, 5. The ultimate diet formula. So let's jump into Section 1, The Great Diet Illusion, peeking behind the curtain of weight loss trends. When you really strip away the slick branding of keto, carnivore, fasting, and Whole30, it's wild, because you realize they all rely on the exact same levers. Take keto, for example. The pitch is that you're cutting carbs to burn fat, right? But the actual mechanism is that you immediately drop water weight, and by cutting out a massive category of food, you automatically create a calorie deficit. Carnivore does the exact same thing, but on an extreme scale. I mean, let's be honest here. Trying to survive on nothing but plain meat can make you so miserable you just kind of stop wanting to eat altogether. When you shrink your food universe down that much, your variety vanishes and your appetite naturally drops right along with it. Then you've got intermittent fasting, which somehow convinced half the internet that the clock is this magical metabolic lever. But really, a shorter eating window just makes it incredibly hard to accidentally snack all day long. And Whole30 works because it literally forces you to remove ultra-processed foods, foods that are heavily engineered with fat, sugar, and salt to completely hijack your fullness signals. So the crucial point really boils down to this quote. None of these diets have found some secret metabolic loophole. It's just a calorie deficit made easier to sustain. Whether you're cutting out carbs entirely, skipping breakfast, or eating nothing but animal products, long-term fat loss always comes down to a sustained calorie deficit. They are literally all just different costumes worn by the exact same underlying biological mechanism. Moving on to Section 2. Nutrients, the building blocks, the essential tools your body uses to thrive. You can think of macronutrients like a fundamental toolbox for your body's survival, where every tool has a very distinct job. Protein is basically your repairman. It provides the amino acids you need to rebuild muscle fibers after a workout and maintain healthy tissues. Carbohydrates are the direct preferred fuel for your brain and cells. They break down into glucose for immediate energy. And fats, they are absolutely not the enemy. They act as the factory that produces essential hormones, and they're critical for building cell membranes and regulating your body temperature. Now, beyond those big macros, we've got these amazing micronutrients. Phytonutrients are absolutely fascinating. They're natural compounds that plants produce to protect themselves from environmental stress. And while they aren't technically essential for basic human survival, consuming them provides some pretty incredible health benefits. A great example of this is lycopene. That's the pigment found in tomatoes. When we eat it, it acts as a protective shield for our own cells against daily oxidative damage. Honestly, knowing this kind of changes how you look at the produce aisle. So yeah, for sure, eat your tomatoes. And we definitely can't forget electrolytes. These are minerals that carry electrical charges in your body fluids, essentially acting as your body's electrical wiring system. Potassium is a perfect example shown in the research here. It is absolutely vital for transmitting nerve signals and making sure your heart beats and your muscles contract exactly when they're supposed to. You literally need that wiring system firing on all cylinders. All right, Section 3, the anti-nutrient debate, finding the nuanced middle ground in nutrition. So, with the meteoric rise of animal-based and carnivore diets lately, a highly provocative question has popped up in the nutrition space. Are the chemical compounds found in plants actually harming us? Let's dive in and look at what the science actually says. It's really a tale of two sides. On the plant-based side, you're getting crucial fiber, which feeds beneficial gut bacteria, slows your digestion, and is consistently linked to longevity. Plus, plant foods give you massive physical volume for very few calories, which keeps you full. But the animal-based arguments hold real weight for certain people too. Animal foods provide highly bioavailable nutrients like B12 and heme iron, and more importantly for some, completely removing plant compounds can eliminate severe triggers for bloating, gas, and digestive stress in sensitive individuals. It isn't magic, it's just a dramatic removal of irritants. Let's break down these so-called anti-nutrients. Compounds like phytic acid in grains can indeed bind to minerals like zinc and iron, meaning you absorb a little bit less of them. Oxalates in spinach can bind to calcium. But the truth isn't that all plants are inherently toxic. It's just that these compounds can cause issues for sensitive individuals. However, as the sources clearly point out, traditional preparation methods like cooking, soaking, and fermenting heavily reduce or even completely neutralize most of these effects. The nuance here is that while anti-nutrients are real, throwing out all plants because of them means losing out on their incredible benefits, unless, of course, you have a specific medical sensitivity.
That brings us to Section 4, Superfoods Backed by Science, Real Foods with Measurable, Research-Backed Impacts.
What's genuinely fascinating is this number right here, 2,000%. Curcumin is the anti-inflammatory powerhouse found in turmeric. But there's a huge catch. It is barely absorbed by the human body on its own. However, studies show that when you pair it with piperine, which is the active compound in standard black pepper, its bioavailability jumps by a staggering 2,000%. This is exactly why traditional recipes and high-quality supplements always combine the two.
Similarly, check out this incredible metric. A massive Harvard study observed women over 70 and found that those who ate just one single cup of blueberries a week delayed their cognitive aging by up to 2.5 years. Just one cup. This is all thanks to pigments called anthocyanins, which give blueberries their color. These specific antioxidants are actually able to cross the blood-brain barrier to protect your cognitive function.
When we group these superfoods by what they actually do, we get a really clear picture. Take our heart protectors, for example. Oily fish like salmon deliver EPA and DHA, which cut the risk of fatal heart arrhythmias. Oats contain a special soluble fiber called beta-glucan that literally forces your liver to pull cholesterol straight from your blood, lowering LDL by 5 to 10%. Avocados and olive oil provide oleic acid to balance cholesterol and blunt blood sugar spikes. And yes, even dark chocolate delivers flavanols that improve blood vessel flexibility. Though, a quick caveat, it has to be 70% cacao or higher. Sorry, milk chocolate doesn't count here.
Now let's look at your immune system and digestion. Fermented foods are absolute kings here. Unpasteurized kimchi and Greek yogurt provide live cultures that actually survive your stomach acid to go in and diversify your gut microbiome. Then we have garlic. When you crush it, it creates a compound called allicin, which acts as a potent antimicrobial and is clinically proven to lower systolic blood pressure by 8 to 10 millimeters of mercury. And mushrooms? They are incredible. They are one of the very few non-animal sources of vitamin D, especially if they're exposed to UV light, and they contain immune-supporting beta-glucans.
Let's wrap it all up with Section 5, the ultimate diet formula, synthesizing the science for your daily life. The true formula for health isn't some clever brand name, and it definitely isn't about extreme restriction. It's really just a practical 3-step process. Step 1, remove the highly engineered, ultra-processed foods that are literally designed to override your normal fullness signals. Step 2, fill up on whole protein and soluble fiber. These naturally control your appetite and sustain your energy levels throughout the day. And Step 3, eat a diverse, colorful range of minimally processed whole foods consistently. That is the secret. It's not magic, it's just consistency over decades.
I want to leave you with this provocative thought to reflect on today. Stop looking for a metabolic loophole. Look at your plate today and ask yourself honestly, is the way you're eating right now something you can happily sustain a year or even a decade from now? Because the diet that actually works long-term was never the one with the cleverest name, it's the one you can actually live with. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this empowers you to make informed, science-backed choices for your own health.